There's a couple of things in the news recently regarding the internet, and I'm pretty annoyed about it. To me, it seems that both governments and corporations have a skewed view of the internet, and I think people have to speak up before regulations are made that takes away our rights and freedoms. How's it going, guys, and welcome to yet another Hanging 10 episode of Yanas Online, the show that discusses big ideas in geek culture online right here on the tunes. So the topic of the week is regarding the internet and how different people view it. To me, I regard the internet as a digital landscape that allows for the open dissemination of information and open communication between people that are, well, geographically challenged. Unless, of course, you're one of those characters that tweet at another person in the same room. Anyway, there's a couple of things in the news that are at odds with this idea. Firstly, there's an attempt in the West to do away with net neutrality. Net neutrality being that every bit of the internet should be transferred at the same speed without discrimination. To put that in context, with net neutrality, I can watch anime on Crunchyroll, PewDiePie on YouTube, or my friends' cat videos at the same speed without discrimination from internet service providers. Taking away net neutrality would mean that ISPs can charge websites a fee to boost the speed of their website. To me, this violates the rights of the people, because every person, particularly those running websites or those that may run websites in the future, have the right to freedom of opportunity. It will be significantly more difficult to build a business from scratch on the internet if your website runs slower than another's, just because they have more money now after having the freedom of not having to pay in the past. To me, this is an idea that is put forward only to increase the profits of ISPs. Wanting to increase profits in a free market can be justified and is not always a bad thing. I'm not saying that companies should not be making money, but these corporations made their money because of the freeness of the internet. So in the same light, if you cared about letting the market decide, why try to build gatekeepers to the market in the first place? That brings me to the local bit of news here in South Africa. Our National Broadcasting Corporation, the SABC, is struggling financially, partly due to the mismanagement of finances from former COO Hlaudi Motsoeneng. In my opinion, the rise of internet infrastructure is also partly to blame. I have internet access in my home and at work, and have not been plugged into the analog, otherwise known as cable network, in over 3 years. I'm certainly not alone in this venture. Now the SABC, in their infinite wisdom, has decided that the people must pay for their blunders by applying the TV license, which is pretty much a tax for being connected to the analog TV network, to cell phones, tablets and laptops, because they have the ability to connect to the signal digitally. Now let me assure you, SABC, people who have cell phones are most likely not using it to watch the SABC. Even poor people who have low-end phones are using their phones to connect with family or for work, and by taxing it even further will most likely push a lot of people in this country further into poverty. And let me repeat, you want to essentially tax the people for your blunders. Now, if the SABC was struggling, they need to sort themselves out. The market has essentially decided that you cannot operate in the same way you have in the past. You either have to adapt or leave. If you have any smart people in management, you would be investing in internet infrastructure and online content creation, because this is where the rest of the world is going. Go speak to Google and YouTube. They seem to be quite enamored with mainstream media at the moment. Television sets are essentially going to be monitors or media devices in the future, and there should be no reason why I have to pay any more taxes aside from what it costs to buy it from the store. And the same goes for cell phones and laptops. But in any case, I'm just a scientist, so I know little about economy, law and politics. I'm just saying it how I see it, and if you disagree, let me know in the comments down below. On a final note, do remember to like the video if you did. Consider sharing it with friends, subscribe to the channel for more weekly conversations about the goings on in online geek culture. And as always, stay tuned and cheers.